Hello everyone, it is I, Ryan, also known as the Lovebat, and I am here once again to bring to you my playthrough of Diablo 1, the original, the fantastic, and the fun. And so it's basically going to be another one of these episodes where we're going to just continue along, and we're going to just kind of continue on from where we left off, which was dealing with the Butcher. As the end of the episode, we kind of dealt with the Butcher and his evil treachery and his demonic ways that were, I guess, befall the villagers of the town that were led into the dungeon. They kind of befell from him, and they had befallen to his evil ways, and he cut so many villagers down when they were led into the church dungeon, the cathedral as it were. And so we dealt with the evil Butcher and avenged the deaths of the many townsfolk who died by his hand and by the hand of the Archbishop Lazarus, who led them down into where the Butcher lay in wait. And so we took care of all that, and then we avenged also our friend Fornheim the Drunk down here and all of his friends that were killed in that massacre, unfortunately. And then we also before that, we dealt with the poisoned water supply as well for our dear friend Pepin, who was very concerned about it. And then we restored the water here, which was turned yellow last episode. And then after we completed the quest, it turned back to blue, as it should be. So we took care of that. We got a nice magic ring out of it, the Ring of Truth from Pepin. So that's going to be very good for our survivability, which even in this game is still a big deal to worry about, especially if you're a squishy sorcerer. You need to be able to not die in a couple of hits. And then we have some other gear here that we've obtained while in the cathedral, in the dungeon as it were. So we're doing pretty good on gear for now, and we still have this trusty short staff of Charged Bolt. And then we're going to go ahead and try and get into dealing with King Leoric. So his son was the one that got lost in the cathedral dungeon, and so he got kidnapped, and I guess he went missing in the cathedral dungeon, and I guess is what we're kind of inferring. The villagers were led into a crazed mob by the Archbishop Lazarus to go looking for him, and so yeah, so things are kind of muddled, I guess, as I said last time, as to the timeline of how everything happened or when everything happened. But King Leoric went mad, and he turned against all of his advisors and his trusted knights. Then they were all forced to kill him because he just had gone mad because his son was missing, and it made him very distraught. And now we need to go ahead and eventually lay King Leoric's soul to rest, and hopefully once he is done in undead form, maybe he will return back to the king that he once was in the afterlife of some sort. So that's kind of what we're going to do now, and we don't have a whole lot else to do as far as talking to the villagers and people like that. We could also talk to them about King Leoric, but I think we talked to some of them last time about King Leoric. But we could talk to a couple of them, I guess, to see what they have to say about it.
Well, what can I do for you? I made many of the weapons and most of the armor that King Leoric used to outfit his knights. I even crafted a huge two-handed sword of the finest mithril for him, as well as a field crown to match. I still can't believe how he died, but it must have been some sinister force that drove him insane.
Yeah, so the sinister force that drove him insane was the distraught nature of losing his son, and we can only imagine that the Archbishop Lazarus was probably the one that had something to do with the kidnapping in the first place, and then used that fact to set a trap for the townspeople and to really just cause a ruckus and to cause the king to go mad and leave the kingdom in disarray, so that way the Archbishop can get away with lots of evil activities, I imagine, under everybody's nose. And so, yeah, I assume that the Archbishop was part of the whole plan here that was hatched to cause so much of a ruckus in the kingdom here.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Ah, the story of our king, is it? The tragic fall of Leoric was a harsh blow to this land. The people always loved the king, and now they live in mortal fear of him. The question that I keep asking myself is how he could have fallen so far from the light, as Leoric had always been the holiest of men. Only the vilest powers of hell could so utterly destroy a man from within.
So I guess maybe there was some additional dialogue there that was added that wasn't subtitled, because usually all the dialogue is subtitled. So that very last sentence was not subtitled, but yeah, it's a very sinister force indeed, and again, it's hard to really categorize what kind of sinister force it must have been, or exactly what it was that caused him to go insane, but, you know, maybe it was just, you know, fear and grief and being unable to cope with it. That could be one thing. But again, it's kind of hard to categorize that kind of grief because it's hard to really describe what makes it so terrible to deal with, and I've had to deal with that myself in life, so as I think that we all have at some point.
What ails you, my friend? The loss of his son was too much for King Leoric. I did what I could to ease his madness, but in the end, it overcame him. A black curse has hung over this kingdom from that day forward. But perhaps, if you were to free his spirit from his earthly prison, the curse would be lifted.
Well, I sure hope so. It's a shame that there isn't anyone else to help me in this task. I mean, if he was a king, I mean, it wouldn't make sense that other people would want to help me lift the curse from his soul. But I guess the kingdom must be busy with like some other affairs of state, I guess, that are getting their attention elsewhere.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. As I told you, good master, the king was entombed 3 levels below. He's down there, waiting in the putrid darkness for his chance to destroy this land.
Alright, so as I remember, Ogden was the one who gave us this quest. So that's why he's just kind of repeating himself there.
Kind of fellow drinking geese? I don't care about that. Listen, no skeleton is gonna be my king. Leoric is king. King! So you hear me? Hail to the king!
And these, he never stops being amusing, but I guess like Cain said, the king was well liked by everybody before he went mad, so it's just the despair of losing his son and all that must have really did him in really bad, so.
Good day. How may I serve you? I don't like to think about how the king died. I like to remember him for the kind and just ruler that he was. His death was so sad and seemed very wrong somehow.
I guess reiterating what Cain and Farnham said, I guess.
Psst, over here. Look, I am running a business here. I don't...
Yeah, we already talked to Word about it, so... But yeah, according to Word, I mean, I guess the way that he phrased it is that the king died, like, some time ago. If that's true, then it would be a bit weird that this kind of thing has been just festering for so long before we came back to this town to come and deal with it, I guess. And then we can go talk to Adria at the edge of town and see what she has to say about the king. Not sure if we talked to her yet about it or not, but we can talk to her again to see what she says.
I sense a soul in search of answers. The dead who walk among the living follow the cursed king. He holds the power to raise yet more warriors for an ever-growing army of the undead. If you do not stop his reign, he will surely march across this land and slay all who still live here.
Okay. And so one thing that Griswold the blacksmith said is that he crafted a very nice big two-handed sword made out of mithril and a very nice crown for the king. So I imagine that if we were to face him in hand-to-hand combat, then I'm sure that he's not going to be an easy foe to defeat because of those wonderful things that was crafted for him personally. So, and Griswold is a very talented blacksmith, so certainly one thing you're gonna have to worry about. Okay, so we have to go ahead and go through this entire dungeon again, so it's gonna be kind of annoying to have to do this all the time, but it is one small blemish in this mod that you kind of wish that maybe wasn't there, but it is, so you just have to kind of deal with it. And again with the traps, there seems to be many more trapped containers in this mod than in the original game, from what I remember anyway. Ooh. It's weird how the zombies just kind of like mumble and grumble whenever they die. Ooh. Okay, and then I'm gonna wait for leveling up until I deal with all these enemies first, because there's so many of them. I don't want any of them sneaking up on me either, like happened some of the previous episodes where they get in a few hits on me and then like, oh damn it, I don't want to get killed here. Alright, now we're in a pretty safe spot to level up in peace. So let's do this. Get some more magic, and then I think we need some strength and vitality here. We need some survivability because we have to be able to make sure that we don't get killed here. And we do have plenty of magic to be able to cast all of our spells, and we're a bit less mana intensive in this version of the game with the HD mod because we can safely go ahead and recharge our staffs. So that way we can keep casting spells without having to burn through as much mana. So that's certainly one consideration. We're not going to get much selling value out of that. So we shall just drop the axe. I like too how you can go ahead and open up the barrels of a charged bolt, and then with the same charged bolt it appears like we end up killing the skeleton that might be laying inside of it as well. Like a good old 2-for-1 special. Okay, so we have a unique creature over there. So let's go ahead and just lob a bunch of charged bolts this direction, and we'll recharge our staff. There we go. And then we can go ahead and spam again if we need to. Right, so let's do it now. Let's start spamming. There we go. We got him. Yeah, it doesn't always take too many hits to take down the unique creatures, but if they hit you, it hits like a truck, especially if you're not a warrior. So if you're not like a warrior, or I assume in this version of the game a barbarian, then they're going to hit like a truck, and it's really going to hurt. And you can die very quickly at lower levels of most RPGs, so you have to kind of be very careful about that. So sometimes spray and pray is the better part of valor in playing a sorcerer. So alright, so now we got all the undead taken care of, all the ghastly undead. So looks like we have some more things to find over there. And I guess this indicates that maybe there's a trap over there. Like there's going to be an arrow or a trap springing out of there to try and hit you. It'd be kind of hard to pick up on that without triggering the trap, but I guess that's like a little design note where the developers did have a little bit of attention to detail there. Like, I don't know, maybe the players will go ahead and think that, oh, there might be a trap there. Except the only problem is that even if you were to hover your mouse cursor over it, you can't exactly disarm the trap. At least not to my knowledge goes in this game. Alright, so now we get to take that. And like I said, we're not really... Ouch. We're not really too mana intensive because of the fact that we can keep recharging our staff here to keep casting Charged Bolt, which is pretty good early game spell for crowd control. So as you can see here, we're just kind of making quick work of lots of enemies here without making too much of our mana here. And again with the traps, they are so very prominent here with this mod, but Magic Protection Shrine, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to need it, but I'll go ahead and take it. And then I guess over here on the edge, it shows me a Magic Resistance Shrine. I don't know if like the resolution of the game is kind of off here or something. I mean, a 720p resolution, and that's something that my monitor can definitely do, so that's probably something that has to do with the mod. Maybe not being able to handle that all the way. Because, I mean, 720p is the exact same sort of aspect ratio as 180p, so. But again, minor blemish on the mod where the UI elements may not be exactly where they should be with this particular resolution, so I can live with it though. It's not exactly too important in this game for some of these UI elements. And we got, oh shoot, we have archers. We have archers. Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't want to go all the way in there. Okay, I made a mistake. And I'm spewing oh shits everywhere, so expect YouTube to demonetize me for spewing the oh shits everywhere. Okay then, well that was not a very good plan, so I'm going to have to try and come up with something a bit more clever. I have to wait a little bit longer for that. Not sure what Elemental Drain does. What does Elemental Drain do here? Level 8 skill, timed beneficial effect. Caster enters a trance in which he can adapt spells to successfully avoid part of target elemental resistances. Okay, so you can reduce the resistances, I guess. Okay, so it costs you a little bit of your mana, I guess, and so you can drain the resistances temporarily of some select enemies with a long cooldown. So I guess if you're up against tough enemies where you want to be able to drain their resistances, then that can be kind of helpful there. I guess what the heck, we'll put that as F7, we'll go and put Talent Portal as F6, and then we have everything else here that's needed. We're not going to use Holy Bolt here, I don't think. Charged Bolt is probably oh, excuse me. Charged Bolt is still probably better at this point because it's crowd control and it can affect, excuse me, more than one enemy. Got a little bit of hiccups here. So let's go ahead and recharge our staff again since we ran out. That might have been why I accidentally and unintentionally went deeper into here, because I ran out of charges right as I was trying to run in there and then spray them with Charged Bolt, and then if you're out of charges and then you right click, it'll have you move there or try and make an attack if you click on an enemy. So that was not good, so we'll try this again and see if it works now that we have charges here. Alright, so let's see if we can spray enough in here to where we can mitigate the damage. Oh, I still have a shot on me. Alright, so we'll use that potion to get us a bit more leeway. We used quite a bit of charges, but we got a lot of them out of the way. Okay, so they're really pumping a lot of hurt into me, but I did take out a good deal of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and get more Charged Bolt going. How many more do we have? We have a few of them. And then we need to go and get out of here, and then which hotkey is it? No, spell book, I want this. So what's F2 on? I don't think we have a hotkey for F2, so let's put you at F2 then. And then... Yep, F2, and then that's F3. I think we'll go and put healing at F3 and then telekinesis at F4. We aren't really going to use telekinesis that much, as I can tell. And then now we'll spray some more of this in here. And then I think that should be all of them. Alright, now let's see what we can find in here's loot for our well-earned efforts. Took care of quite a few undead there. There was quite a few skeleton archers and maybe a unique creature in there that I didn't notice somewhere. Usually where there's lots of baseline, you know, type creatures, there might also be one unique creature among them. Usually that happens with the very large mobs of enemies. Oh, healing potion, that'll be nice. Let's get the resurrect scroll out of there and get a healing potion in there. The regular healing potions in this game are not quite as good as they might be in Diablo 2 for just general bits of healing. It only heals like a small bit of your health, maybe 1/3 if you're lucky. Usually it's better if you're a warrior because then you have more hit points to heal, and heal others is a useless spell for us, so we're just going to go ahead and sell that. Don't think that there's anything else that fell down in here. I think we've pixel hunted a bit enough there. And let's see, we already went in there. We went to the magic protection shrine. That didn't really help us against those skeleton archers, but that's okay. And we still have a bit of a cooldown for that. But we have plenty of mana potions here, so we can afford to lay a few charged bolts in here and not have to worry too much. There we go, we got more skeleton archers coming our way, so that's going to be very annoying. Especially since we don't have too great of armor right now. Haven't found the 3rd level of the dungeon yet, which would lead to King Leoric's. There it is, actually. Speak of the devil. So it looks like we... Oh, Book of Firebolt's actually quite nice. So it'll help level up Firebolt for us. In fact, why don't we go and do that right now? Let's go and see how much we improve. 31 to 40. $34 to 43. That actually increased our damage by 3, actually. So that's very powerful. As long as they aren't like resistant to fire damage, that should end up doing quite a bit of damage, actually. So it's going to be way better than even Holy Bolt would against the undead. Unless the undead are like immune to fire, then it's going to be way better, so. Yeah, so like the Burning Dead there, I think that they're resistant to fire damage, obviously. Kind of makes sense with the name, but most undead usually aren't too resistant to fire damage. It's usually the Burning Dead and then maybe some unique creatures that are usually resistant to a lot of things, making them pretty difficult to deal with. And now we're going to go and switch to this, and we're going to recharge our staff again. Oh, I guess this might have been F2. Yeah, so I guess we'll do F3 with that, F4, and then F5. And that might sell for a little bit, so we'll just pick it up. And nothing in there. And then I guess I guess it might be worth exploring the second level again, because if we find a useful spell book, like at those little bookcases, then that alone is actually kind of helpful for us. So we need all the magic that we can get, and thankfully that trap was pretty far away so we could avoid it. Okay, so we're just going to get in here. Can't really move in there because they keep clogging the doorway, but that's okay. And then we're just going to keep laying some charged bolt right in their face. A skeleton captain, okay. I guess it's not any different from the other skeletons. I bet they're all called skeleton captains. I guess it's like just a one step up from being a regular skeleton, I guess. Yep, let's go ahead and deal with all the traps. Take care of all the traps. There we go. Sash that we don't need. We already have a pretty good sash ourselves, so we got a zombie trying to sneak up on us. Let's take care of him. There's gold. Alrighty then. So we're going ahead and we're smiting the undead with our charged up boltiness, and then I guess that's the way back up to level 1, which we're not going to take, obviously. Level 1 is pretty beneath us, even though it's actually above us. It's basically beneath... Oh, my goodness, that really hurt. That really hurt. And our potion cannot help us. Okay, so let's do this one then. I don't want to use the full healing potion because that's going to restore much more health than a regular rejuvenation potion would. And because Diablo 1 doesn't allow you to go ahead and mix and match potions to try and make better potions like in Diablo 2, we're just going to use the potions that we have instead of saving them, so... Yeah, so that trap almost killed us, and we were at near full health, if I'm not mistaken, so... A single trap nearly killed us, like that. I mean, that's so annoying. I mean, yeah, I get it, there's traps in the game, I understand that, but... You know, you don't get like in tabletop, you would get like a saving throw, or maybe you'd have a chance to move away from the trap, or... You know, maybe you'd have a chance to go ahead and at least tank the trap, maybe with some kind of defenses. Like, yes, I guess technically there are defenses, you have resistances here, but this early in the game, how much of that are you going to actually be able to get, right? Like, there's only so much that you can get this early in the game. So having deadly traps like that with a character that can't even do much about traps, like, what's the point of that? I don't know, maybe later on it won't be too much of an issue since we'll have ways to gain resistances, but this early, that is just a big annoyance when you can almost die just from that. Alright, well at least we still have some healing with us. We have a scroll of healing now. Let's go ahead and put our potions in here. Put you over there, and then where's the scroll of healing at? There it is. Let's go ahead and put this over here too. And we're not going to use that bronze ring, sorry. I hate to say it, we're just not going to try and whack things for staff, so... And then Book of Holy Bolt. That marginally improves Holy Bolt. It's still not nowhere near as good as our Firebolt is, but we'll take whatever we can get. And then we have a Cursed Cap. We're just going to drop it. It's not going to sell for anything, so we're not going to bother with that. Alrighty then. Let's get the show on the road then. We have another bookcase over there that we're going to go ahead and loot. Magical rags might be worth something if there's a halfway decent enchantment. It also might be an okay decision to just drop anything. It doesn't seem like it would be valuable even if you identify it, because it has to be worth more than 100 gold to make a profit on it. Alright, so that's not going to be good. Time to switch to our mana-fueled charged bolt. Alright, so I think that's all of them. Might be one left in here, one straggler. Nope. Okay. Book of Telekinesis. I guess we'll learn the spell, I guess. Not sure if we're going to use it all that much, but might as well. It's a let's play. You want to try and explore and experiment with everything, so... Alright, so that's the way to level 1, and then there's some area over here on the mini-map here that we can also go to, but I'm not sure if I really need to. I think I'll be okay and satisfied that I'm now up to level 8. I think level 8 would be good enough for going down to level 3. Oh, and a Scroll of Inferno might sell for a decent chunk. And then I guess before we go down to the 3rd level, it might be a good idea to go ahead and town portal back home and see about getting a little something for our loot here. Have to remember to go ahead and turn off the auto map there, or the mini map.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Sword of the Pit. I don't know if that's a good or a bad enchantment, but we'll find out. Bow of Strength. Okay. Armor of Zest. Armor of the Knight. I wonder what the Knight means. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing either. Decreased light radius. That's definitely a bad thing. And then Vitality. That's not too bad, but I think... I mean, having more armor is good. Vitality would be nice for the extra hit points, but I think that having a high armor class might arguably be better. Though the Armor Zest does help us out more with tanking traps, which is also a consideration. Plus on the strength, that's not too bad. I guess if you have a if you want to equip a larger sized bow or some better armor, then having more strength on a magic bow might be decent enough, and then that's just terrible all around. Sword of the Pit basically means that it sends your attributes into the pit to die with a -4 to all of your attributes, so
Whoa,
at the very least,
what can I do for you?
at the very least, Griswold's going to get it off of our hands, and I don't know, hopefully he does not use it to prank anybody that we know, so we'll do that. And surprisingly, the Rags of the Night still sell for a decent amount. Stealth is not really a thing that's used in this game, so I don't know if there's anything relating to those kinds of mechanics, but there you have it. And then, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and actually switch to the Armor of Zest, just because the Vitality probably more useful to us at this point than the Dexterity is. Tanking hits is probably more important than avoiding them entirely, and then we can also tank the traps a little bit easier. So, and I guess he doesn't have anything that's too good over here. -1 damage from enemies is interesting. Bonus to magic is nice, but then we can't use our staff. Okay, so some of these things, they are interesting, but I think that the +5 to vitality here, let's see what the difference is in our hit points. Alright, so this basically gives us 5 more hit points to tank with, so I think that's a worthy trade-off for losing out on armor class. That's just me personally. And we have Resurrection, Inferno, things like that. So, a Book of Inferno would be great, but and I think we do have it in our spell book here somewhere. I thought that we had learned Inferno, but I guess we haven't learned it just yet. Right now we just have Telekinesis and Talon Portal. And we'll go back and heal up with Pepin here shortly.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Alright, I want to sell some of these things. We have a good deal of mana potions here, so we'll go ahead and sell these for a little bit of extra spare change. And we don't really need Scrolls of Resurrection, so we're just going to get rid of them. And heal other, we don't need, we'll get rid of that too. So Talon Pearl, I mean, that's not bad, but obviously we need Charged Bolt more because we already have learned the Talon Portal spell. Regenerating mana, that could be pretty interesting, and it has a healing as well. Honestly, getting this just for the mana regeneration could be nice, because then it's easier to switch between our spells and we don't have to worry about charging up our Charged Bolt staff all the time. Regenerating mana per 5 seconds, that's actually pretty nice. It allows us to switch between Firebolt and Charged Bolts and whatnot. And then having free charges with a healing spell is also pretty nice. And as I said, you do need increased strength to end up wielding certain kinds of gear. So in this case, we need strength 21 to use the staff. So that's why you want to increase your strength at least a little bit as a sorcerer, even though you don't really use it for anything except for gear. Simply being able to wield better gear is very helpful. So I don't know if I wanted to invest my money in that or not, though, because, I mean, do we need it? I mean, we could end up finding a pretty good staff at some point and use that and save our money. But regenerating mana would be a really great thing. But we have plenty of potions, and we have plenty in our belt. And we have a staff that we can recharge for now, so I think we'll just stick with what we have and save our money. Even though regenerating mana, that would be a really nice staff to have, but I don't know if it's going to become obsolete anytime soon, or if it's going to last us for a while, because I just don't know what gear that we're going to find. So we might find up we might still end up finding a good staff at some point. So and I'll take a quick swig of water before I go back into the portal. Ah, there we go. Alright, now we're ready. Now then, onward into the breach, down to level 3. And we'll certainly be seeing King Leoric sometime soon, I imagine, because that's, they said that, or Ogden told us that King Leoric's lair was on the 3rd level of the dungeon, so at some point we're going to be finding him. Oh. We have invisible creatures that are coming upon us. And thankfully our spells can still hit them even if they're invisible, so you just have to kind of spray a little bit and we can eventually hit them if they come up. Oh, the rotting carcass is regenerating hit points, so that means that either they can regenerate natively or maybe there's a unique creature nearby that's buffing them in some way. Yeah, those invisible creatures, they can be pretty annoying, particularly because they can end up dealing some decent damage in some cases, so having to go ahead and tank them is not very good for a sorcerer. So I guess somehow we see in our incorporeal vision, or whatever, or X-ray vision, we can end up seeing a skeleton archer over there for some reason, so we're gonna have to be very careful here. There's probably bound to be a few more of them. Alright, so we take out the archer. Obviously, as we go further along, this staff is going to be a bit more ineffective as far as damage goes and dealing with our enemies. So eventually we're going to have to switch to more mana-based spells. Which again was the whole argument for, you know, thinking about buying that staff back in town, but I think we can still get away with the staff for a bit longer. So I don't know if these guys are more resistant to lightning or not, if they're a grayishness, and then you have the Burning Dead for being resistant to fire. I don't know how that works, but obviously there's probably some guides out there, some bestiary type things out there that you can find that can probably list what all the creatures' stats are. I know that in Diablo 2 it tells you after you kill a creature enough times what kinds of like resistances and immunities it might have, or what makes it particularly strong. Not identified, so we're going to have to learn what that is when we go back into town. I don't know if you can learn the identify spell or not and add it to your spellbook. It would be nice if you could, but I don't know if you can. Let's do that. Now we're at a reasonably high amount of health in case we encounter another trap that might try and kill us. Boom! Alright, so we're able to go ahead and deal with some undead there, just spraying it around and praying. The spray and pray strategy. Alright, now we're leveling up again. Again, we're going to get a bit more strength here, and then a little bit of vitality, just because we need survivability. And our magic is still pretty damn good, so we're okay with that. Oh, I keep forgetting that I need to open up barrels by using magic instead of whacking it with my staff and melee. Oh, what's this? A unique item. So we'll have to find out what that dagger is at some point too. I doubt that we're going to end up using it unless it boosts our magic in some way, but still would be pretty nice to be able to find more bits of loot and find out what they are. It could also be said that one reason to use telekinesis is because there's lots of traps here. Oh, we gotta deal with an invisible dude. The hidden. Yep, now he's dead. Okay, now I just need to go ahead and take a chance to deal with my inventory here. Okay. Yeah, you gotta be really on your toes when playing Diablo. It'll throw wrinkles at you from time to time here. Invisible enemies, and then undead that try and sneak up on you, etc. But I guess as I was saying earlier, there is something to be said that the telekinesis spell could be more valuable in this version of the game because the traps are quite prominent. So maybe opening up doors and chests and things like that from afar with telekinesis, maybe in this version of the game that has more value because then you are out of harm's way from dealing with the traps. Alright, now Switch back to that. And I guess we already found King Leoric's tomb, so it's going to be an interesting little experience here. Been quite a long time since I confronted the big man King Leoric himself. Since it's been, I don't know, maybe about a decade since I last played Diablo 1. Maybe even longer. But we'll see what happens here. Might explore more of the dungeon before going down there, just because I imagine it's going to be a tough fight, and we have some like book things here that we can find. Maybe another spell book, or maybe another spell that we can learn. Okay, so we're killing the little minion people here. Let's take care of him. Heal on up, and then put that in there. There we go. Don't know how much a hunter's bow sells for. I'm hoping it's enough that it will be profitable for the inventory space. School of Inferno that sells decently. Alright, now we have a big mob of enemies over there. Big mob of skeletons. Alright, so it's going to be a bit hard to hit them with charged bolts, so we might need to go ahead and just do the firebolt action here. Yeah, so they drop like a sack of potatoes because we've leveled up firebolt so much that it just deals so much minimum damage that there's no way that anything's going to survive that onslaught. Alright. Ouch, that hurt a lot. Yeah, those traps, man. I need to just try and get maybe into a habit of just trying to use my telekinesis all the time, because apparently the traps just want to kill you in this game. Like, really, they do. Alright, so charged bolts. So now our charged bolts without the staff, I guess, is kind of reasonable here. And 5 bolts. Increasing the number of bolts that you get is a nice little extra there. So that's actually one reason to level that up. So I guess knowing that piece of information, that leveling up charged bolt will make it spread out more bolts there. It might be more effective to not use the staff in the future and just to use the leveled up version from our spellbook. Alright, now let's go ahead and switch to telekinesis here, and then let's do that on the door. Alright. Took care of one. I'm gonna wait for the other one, if there's one, to come out of the woodwork. So we have a few of them, but they're gonna go down like a sack of potatoes to my firebolts, so I'm just gonna wait for them to all come out, and then I'll just go ahead and kill them really quick. Is that all of them? Probably. Don't know if there might ever be any stragglers that are still left, but my firebolt goes off fast enough that I can usually take care of them. Alright, let's heal up a little bit there, and then now we are good to go once again. Yeah, leveling up Firebolt has certainly made it a very good spell to have, just to one-shot enemies at this early of a level. And it's also quite accurate and fast casting, so this might be better for dealing with skeleton archers because it's more accurate, so let's lob a few bolts in there. Let's see if we can snipe these snipers. There we go. I'm not sure if it increases your casting time or the speed of your firebolts as well if you level it up. I guess we need to recharge our staff now. There we go. And I can use charged bolts to open up the barrels here. We don't want the unique creatures to get close to us. Yeah, a unique creature zombie, usually not too threatening just because they're way too slow to be able to get in close to you to even be able to hit you, so unless you're a warrior, you don't really need to worry too much about them. You can just kite them down. Yeah, the warriors, they're definitely the most durable and maybe the easiest to get into for a new player, but on the other hand, the strong, unique creatures do present a bit of an issue for them sometimes as far as trying to match up against them and just not get overwhelmed and dying because they're fighting multiple enemies. So they are definitely the toughest and the hardest to go down. But if you're like a sorcerer or a rogue, you can kite the melee enemies as well, so... Now obviously there are some fast enemies, like the butcher that we fought was really fast and hard to try and outrun. So there are some enemies out there like that which are difficult to deal with as far as a matchup issue goes. Sometimes it's just hard to match up against the fast, brawny enemies. View. More barrel opening here, nothing too important, but maybe you might be lucky and find like a good item in there somehow. Alright, so there's level 4. And yet again, a trap tries to kill us. There's no shortage of traps in here. Alright, so we've explored around here. We got the book from the bookcase over there. And we leveled up Charged Bolt a bit. Now it's time to go over here and find out what we find. Nothing good. Alright, so we have some charges left on here for what's through this door. And I'm not killing that zombie, maybe because the door is in the way.
I have no room.
I have no room. Alrighty then. So let's leave one hunter's bow behind and then see how much that each of these sells for. And we could play some inventory Tetris to try and make enough room for the staff here, I guess. Or to make enough room for both the staff and the bow. And why not? Let's drop you. Okay, and now we can finally pick up the hunter's bow, gold, and I guess the mana potion is probably something that we can sell. Then we can pick up the healing potion again here. Alright, now let's go ahead and get to Town Portal, and let's get back into town. Yeah, when I look at that and it says 1 minute, it almost looks like it says like infinity or whatever it is. Like, kind of looks interesting, I guess.
In search of answers.
All right, now this short staff of Holy Bolt, not very much. We need to identify some of these things. Okay, so let's do that first then. Let's go down and identify some of this stuff. Alright, Kane, what can you tell us about some of the stuff we found here?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Frog, Staff of Dyslexia, nothing good. Gray Ring of the Fox, that could be interesting. Corpse Barb, so I imagine it's like a damage dealing type thing. DPS dagger. -1 mana, -1 magic, nothing good. Where's the ring? Resist cold and hit points, well I'm going to take that, because the hit points part is very nice. Dexterity, not too, like 2 dexterity is nice to have, but having more hit points, that's even better. So, now we're all the way up to 87, so now we're doing pretty good in the hit point department. And then as well, it's not really that much DPS. The enhanced damage doesn't really add all that much because the dagger has so much low base damage anyway. The resistance is nice, vitality is nice, so extra survivability for us, but the staff is probably still better. Yeah, so we can find a mana regeneration staff again at Adria's. We might go ahead and buy that. I don't even know if we really need Holy Bolt. Like, I don't know if it's really going to be all that important unless something's like immune to Firebolt, I guess, but let's just learn it anyway, I guess. I don't know if maybe the damage will level up faster or not. It doesn't seem like it will, but maybe it could. Alright, now let's go and sell some of this stuff to Griswold.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
93 gold isn't that bad, but and considering that we don't have to worry about identifying it, that's also not bad either. Because then they don't have to spend 100 gold on that. Corpse Barb does sell for a pretty decent amount, so we'll at least get that out of it. And then well, we can't sell any of those. Because Cain is not interested in the arcane items, so let's see what he has. Regenerating life could be very good, but the 15 hit points on the cap that we have is also very good. It just allows you to go ahead and tank things much better if you just have the extra top-end hit points in the first place. And let's just go ahead and repair some of the stuff that we have.
I cannot cast that here.
Yep, I know. Okay. Yeah, nothing there that we really want to use anyway, so let's just go back to... Oh, we want to talk to Pepin and get healed up.
What ails you, my friend?
See, we have plenty of potions there. Now it's time to go talk to Adria. We're not really going to talk to Geed. I don't think there's anything that we really need from him for a sorcerer. I think Adria will have everything that we'll ever need for our magic powers.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Let's get rid of some of those. We'll get rid of most of the mana potions, and we'll sell this thing for pocket change. Get rid of the ring too. Identify. I mean, I guess it's better just to keep identify because it only costs us, or it only gives us 25 gold. But by using the scroll, we end up saving 100 gold from Cain identifying it, so better just to hold on to it, I guess. That only regenerates 1 mana per 5 seconds, but it has a better spell on it with lightning. Yeah, eventually we're going to want to come back and get a staff that will regenerate our mana. Book of Lightning, I think that could be worth it. Don't know if we want Inferno, because Inferno, as far as I remember, it's more of a melee range spell. So it's sort of like, if anyone's familiar with 5th edition D&D, or any kind of rule set of Dungeons and Dragons, it's going to be similar to the Burning Hands spell. It's a melee range spell that you only want to cast when enemies are close to you. And it does good area of effect damage in that radius, but you have to get close to them to do it. So not exactly the best proposition for a sorcerer, and you have to kind of aim it right. So I think lightning's better because you can cast it from a pretty good distance. So let's go ahead and buy that. Pretty happy about that purchase. So we'll go ahead and now learn that. I think it's a second level spell. Yep. So the lightning damage is a bit low, but because it's a stream of lightning, every little bit of the stream of lightning deals that 4 to 6 lightning damage, from what I understand. So the damage sort of multiplies and adds up if something gets caught in every single part of the stream. So, and then, yep, we have everything we need there. And then we'll use this to recharge our staff right now. So I think that we have everything here. So I'll take another quick drink of water and then I will go through the portal. Alright, nothing like fresh water. Oh, excuse me. Yep, sometimes I get gas here and I have to deal with that. Alright, so there's a scroll of healing, potion of healing. I'll keep these around in case I need to do a bit of a healing on the spot here, so I don't have to use the potion belt for it. And you know what, at this point, now that we've gotten lightning added to our spells, let's go and put this in here somewhere. Can I do like F9 for spells? Let me double check here. Okay, so I guess F9 does that, and you only go up to F8 for your quick spells and abilities, so we only have F1 through F8 for our quick spells here, so we have to kind of decide what we want. I think we use healing. We're not going to use it for a hotkey, I guess, since we have potions if we want emergency healing, so I guess we go ahead and put lightning bolt in F4. F5, F6. I guess healing might go somewhere later, but for now I'm not sure if we really need it in a quick slot here. Maybe we can put healing in F5, and then we can go and put telekinesis at F6, and then F7. Don't know if I'm going to use elemental drain or not on the spot. I'm not really familiar with it, or trying to use it. If we had the mouse wheel action going here so I could use it in combat then switch back to a spell easily, then I could do that, but because this game does not use the mouse wheel for the skills and spells, it makes it a bit difficult to switch between them in the middle of combat without memorizing them with which key that you need to do in the heat of the moment, like F1, F2, which one do I press again, you know. But with the scroll wheel, you can easily scroll to which skill that you want. It's easier to remember to use the scroll wheel instead. Alright.
The warmth of life has entered my tomb. Prepare yourself, mortal, to serve my master for eternity.
Alright, so King Leoric, I guess, apparently has some kind of master, I guess. I assume that was King Leoric speaking to us with a telepathic voice. But yeah, he definitely sounds evil and foreboding, and like we should shit our collective pants from hearing that, so he sounds like a very worthy foe. So I might want to switch, I don't know if I want to switch to Firebolt now, because we did encounter a couple of archers I think I need to snipe down here. A little bit difficult with melee enemies closing in on me. Ooh, a unique axe. Okay. Let's identify it right now. I mean, that's not bad, but I'm just going to sell that, so it's not too important. Alright, now let's switch back to Firebolt. And try and deal with these archers. Do a little bit of the zooming and zagging, the juke and jiving. I guess even the Burning Dead are gonna die to my Firebolt because it's so leveled up that they can't, they just can't take the heat. You know, they can't tank the damage here very well. Might as well grab that. Let's go and use a mana potion here. Switch to this. Alright, now we have this guy that we gotta kill. Come on, go down. There we go. What does this lever do? It does something. I imagine it opens up this area up here on the mini-map. Yep, there we are. Don't know if I want to go in there yet, because I imagine that King Leoric is going to be waiting for us somewhere across over there. Let's see what's in here first. Nothing good. More dastardly undead looking to go ahead and take my life. So, looking to go ahead and take me into the abyss of the other undead. The hell, the underworld, and everything under the sun. Okay, so we have a secret area over here. Hopefully we can find some goodies to do battle against Leoric with. You know what, let's just go ahead and stand away from this chest. If I've learned anything, it's telekinesis is good here. Okay. Alright, more undead here that we have to deal with, and he's not dying. Apparently Charged Bolt does not want to hit him. Let's heal up a little bit. Alright, let's switch to the Firebolt here. It's burning undead, but he wasn't getting hit by our other spells, so... Oh, it's a unique creature. Okay, so maybe he's immune to lightning damage here. Well, shit, I think I might have to use Holy Bolt for this one. I guess it's a good thing I leveled up that spell. Where's Holy Bolt? I need it now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I did not have it on a hotkey, so I have to go to that quick spell menu here. Thank God I have the spell, because otherwise I'd be kind of dead in the dirt. There we go. Alright, so having known that, it might be a good idea to put this into a hotkey somewhere, so we're going to put it at F5. The healing spell is just going to have to go for now because we just don't use it, so... Okay, now we have F5 for Holy Bolts, so we'll have that if we need it. Yeah, at first I just did not recognize that we were up against a unique creature there. I thought it was another Burning Dead, but that's why I thought that Charged Bolt would work, but apparently not. So I guess if you're a sorcerer, I think you need Holy Bolt or maybe some other kind of magic damaging spell. I don't know if telekinesis can technically damage anything. I think it's just for opening up doors and things like that, and containers. Looks like we have a flaming arrow coming our way. Okay, so let's try and whittle down the forces of undead here that are going to, no doubt, try and stream in towards us. If we can whittle down the little guys, then... Okay. But I guess if we can whittle down the little guys here, then we can try and make more work of King Leoric when we find him eventually. Where's he? He's right there. Can we kill him? There's a Burning Dead captain over there and over there. He's not in our sight yet. Okay, so there's King Leoric, I imagine. So we got to get out of here. And I think we need to go ahead and use some mana here. Alright, so can we hit him with Firebolt? We can. I don't know how much damage it's doing, so I might have to use Holy Bolt here. Let's use some Holy Bolt and see how this works. Alright, so that's a really big sword that I don't want anything to do with. He doesn't seem to be able to come through here for some reason. He seems kind of content to go back and forth there. Well, damn, that really hurt, and I think it drained our mana. I'm trying to move. Trying to move. Let's get a move on here. And he's raising up undead. That's not good either. And he's using like Corpse Explosion, I think, which is a Diablo 2 ability. Okay, Vampiric, so he's going to drain our life and our mana, I think, is what he does. Come on, let's get him. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on, we gotta kill him. No! No! Yeah, I was trying to run away there, but I guess my mouse was kind of blocked by the walls there, and I wasn't able to do anything there, so... we have our first death of the game, I guess. I mean, I really was trying to run away there, but... I don't know, the mouse clicker, I mean, it was maybe caught in the wall, and it wasn't registering to move and try and run away from him. He was vampiric, so he was draining our health and our mana at the same time, I think, so...
I sense a soul in search of answers.
At least we still have our loot, I guess, but we ran out of all of our potions because we used them all, so we have to replenish those. Yeah, there's one downside of the game, is that sometimes the controls are a bit clunky if you're trying to move around and stuff, and sometimes you get hit and you get locked into place and you can't run away, or sometimes if you're trying to run away and you accidentally click on a wall, then it won't register the click and it's not going to actually move you towards the wall at the very least. It's just going to have you stay there and not move. So there is one thing that you have to kind of get used to in this game. And I think we definitely want another Book of Holy Bolt here, so let's go and get that. At least for this particular encounter, I think we're going to want it. And let's stock up on a lot of mana potions here. I think we're going to need them.
I cannot cast that here.
Don't worry, man. I know that better than anybody. Okay, and then we want to get some healing potions as well. I think having a couple extras in our inventory there will also be helpful for this encounter. I was trying to spam down some Holy Bolt on him, and then try and run away, and then do that over again, but as I was trying to click away, I guess my clicker just got caught in the wall somewhere down here. I was trying to click, and then I didn't realize that my clicker was on the wall instead of on ground that he could move to. And then he just stood there and got hit in the face, so... Again, they are controls that you kind of have to get used to. Okay, now let's put some of these in here. And now I don't know how far that we're going to have to go to get back there. Hopefully the enemies aren't all respawned, that we have to fight through level 2 and level 3 just to get there again, because that would be kind of annoying. No town portal, we have to rely solely on waypoints now. And we can't do these save anywhere type thing now. Alright, so at the very least, I guess for this particular thing, unless you exit the game entirely, at least you don't have to worry about the respawning enemies for that bit. So as long as we don't exit the game here, then we don't have to worry about that. Let's recharge our staff. And then let's identify these items that we got.
Stay a while and listen.
Okay, now let's sell.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Halfway decent items, just nothing that we're really going to use, so we're just going to sell them. And then let's put the healing potions over on this side, and then the mana stuff can go over here. Alright, now let's try that again. Take 2. It's going to be a bit difficult to try and deal with King Leoric's cronies there while trying to also deal with him, because he'll keep on resummoning undead. That's level 3, okay. Yeah, that's the rest of level 2 here, and we only want to go down to level 3, so... And I guess we didn't go fully in this room yet, so I guess we'll just do that now. I don't know what a creepy shrine is, so I don't want to... I'm not exactly sure what the effects of all of the shrines are, but some of them are randomized, and some of them I have no idea what they do. There could be some new ones with the Belzebub mod, but nothing that I really want to get too much into before boss fights. I just want to be able to hopefully go in there swinging. So let's go and try this again. Unfortunately, I can't do the save anywhere feature. I have to just keep on going in there and then doing the waypoints over and over again. So we'll see what happens here. I could also set a town portal right when I get in there, which might be a good idea. So if I set a town portal spell in there, then if I need to run and get out of there really quickly without dying, then I can also just go through the town portal. So that might be what I do here, and see if that can help out trying to retreat. So, okay, now we're going to go back to Holy Bolt here. Okay, and there's King Leoric again. I bet he's got all his health back too. He does. Okay, so I want to try and get Leoric to just... Yeah, I'm going to go to Tower Portal here, and then I'll go back there again. But basically what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try to take out his cronies, then I'm going to go ahead and try and get him to get hit by a bunch of Holy Bolts. And let's see if we can find a staff here that... If we can find a staff with the mana regeneration like I had before and I just didn't buy it, like I probably should have.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
If I can find one like that, then I will take it next time I see it. I realize how valuable now that it would be. Firewall is good, but we don't need it right now. And it would suck up quite a bit of our money. We don't need level 2 town portal. Level 1 town portal can basically just be good for the entire game. I mean, Firewall is good, but I don't know if it would even affect King Leoric. I mean, it might. So maybe we can just put a firewall there while he's trying to go back and forth like an idiot, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it might be worth it for that. I mean, against mobs of enemies, Firewall is also pretty good, too. I mean, since we have the opportunity for it, I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. We'll get some more gold later to be able to maybe get a better staff going. So let's go ahead and buy this then. Let's see if it can help us out against the cronies of undead here. Alright, so Firewall will do a pretty good amount of fire damage, but it does cost a good bit of mana to cast, but we have plenty of mana to spare here, so... And even against the Burning Dead, it should still do enough damage to where they will go down like a sack of potatoes to that kind of spell, so... I guess for this encounter, I don't think that Lightning Bolt's going to do anything, so we'll go ahead and put Firewall at F4. And then for F5, I guess we'll leave that at Holy Bolt. Don't know if we need Staff Recharge as a hotkey. We can just go to the quick screen here and use that. So maybe we can do F6. I guess we'll do Holy Bolt F4, then Firewall F5, F6, F7, F8. Okay. Or I don't know, maybe Town Portal we don't need as a hotkey. Let's go and put this as a hotkey. Town Portal, I guess I'm not going to cast it in the middle of combat most of the time, so I don't know if I really need a hotkey for that. Alright, so we lost a good bit of our money, but we have Firewall now that we can try to get going. Okay, so just making sure I have the hotkey there. We'll have this set so we can make a Town Portal right when we go in. Okay, now let's go ahead and run out of here. And let's go ahead and make a Firewall. I don't know if that hurt him much, if at all.
I cannot cast that yet.
Okay. So it's doing a little bit of damage, so it might be worth to continue spamming it, I guess.
I cannot cast that yet.
Okay. Alrighty then. So now let's go and switch back to Holy Bolt here and take care of some of these guys. Okay. Oh, let's get out of here. Let's run. I don't know if he can go through that Town Portal area or not. I guess he can. We got him. There we go.
I'll find your son.
Well, that's a sigh of relief. I felt like we should have been able to kill him the first time, but you know, sometimes you do have some blunders, and whether it's by accident or just an oversight, we were able to finally avenge, you know, maybe not avenge is the right word. Killing the Butcher was avenging the deaths of so many people, but for King Leoric, it's more about, I guess, assuring him, your curse is going to be lifted, and we are going to make every effort to find your son, so you don't have to be in eternal torment over it anymore. So maybe that's more the proper way to phrase it. Alright, so there's a crown there, which is the kind of crown that I guess Griswold mentioned making for him. And then obviously that big sword that he has was also the sword that Griswold made for him as well. Okay. And as you can see there, Vitality does have a nice effect here of being able to help us survive some of those hits that we're bound to take from the strong enemies, so you do kind of need a little bit of Vitality there to tank those shots. Man, that kind of hurt. Okay, let's just heal up here. Well, I guess I didn't really need to use those healing potions. I'll probably go back to town and get healed up by Pepin here, but there are a couple more enemies to deal with here, so they're shooting flaming arrows at us. They're spitting fire arrows at us, everybody. Let's go ahead and take care of all these archers here. All these stragglers that are around. And I guess they might drop some items after we try and open them up. Alright, took care of them. Now let's take care of him. Yeah, now I'm kind of regretting not taking that mana regenerating staff. I definitely want to get one of those on my hands here. I don't want to turn on the auto map as well. I don't know how much map I have left to explore in this dungeon. Oh, magic axe. I don't know if knocking them down opens up some kind of door or hidden pathway of some kind. Alright, looks like we have maybe one casting left of Holy Bolt. And it works. I guess we maybe have one more. Looks like it did indeed open up a hidden path here, so... And many more undead are waiting for us. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe just some charged bolt might be enough to deal with these guys, so let's go ahead and just do some of this. Now that we don't have to worry about King Leoric being probably resistant or immune to the lightning damage, now we can use this again. The archers, though, those are going to be a problem. They are really going to be a problem, I bet, so... I'm going to have my hands on my 1 and 2 here for the potions. I'm going to spam some charged bolt in here to hope I get some of these guys on the ground. Okay, so I dealt with some of them. Oh, looks like I dealt with all of them. Alright, that worked. And then I'll probably take that town portal back to town here pretty soon, so that way I can go ahead and heal up from Pepin. Don't know if there's any items to find in there, any chests or anything, so just go ahead and go over this way. I don't know if there's a hidden place over there, but we do have this over here. So we have some undead in there. Let's avoid the archer. These guys funnel out to us. And we still have a couple of charges left on that, so let's not worry too much. Magic bow, nice. Well, the skeleton corpses are kind of just piling up here and making a big old bone pile for us, so... that hurt. That really hurt. We might want to get out of here. I didn't think that we were going to be able to kill them before losing all of our health, so... Discretion is a better part of valor, and making sure that you actually drink your potions. Alright, now let's go in there now that we're full on health. Come on, charge bolt. There we go. Charge bolt was not being too accurate there, so... Maybe that's shame on me for not picking a different spell to use. And then here I've learned enough that we should try and just telekinesis these things. Alright. Mana potion. Magic cape.
I have no room.
Alrighty then, so we have to go back to town here, and then we'll come back for the rest of these items. We'll just make the town portal here, since we're going to get all of our mana back anyway, so... Alright, so I guess Ogden has something to talk to us about again. I don't know if there's anything to talk about regarding us taking care of the king.
Stay a while and listen. Ah, the story of our king, is it? The tragic...
Looks like he's saying the same thing.
Well, what can I do for you? I made many of the weapons and most of the armor that...
Right, so sometimes after you complete a certain kind of quest, you do end up having them say something different after the completion of the quest. That might be more in relation to Diablo 2, I guess. I thought that Diablo 1 did it, but I could be misremembering that for the quest completion.
Greetings.
And I guess he doesn't have any dialogue to say. It's just trading and gambling type stuff.
Farewell.
The curse of our king is past, but I fear that it was only part of a greater evil at work. However, we may yet be saved from the darkness that consumes our land, for your victory is a good omen. May light guide you on your way, good master.
Well, I appreciate your your good wishes, my good man. So we have finally fully, taken care of the quest now, and now the curse of the king hopefully has been lifted for the better. Even though the dark powers that corrupted him in the first place may not yet be gone from this world and may never, but we were able to take care of one small piece that's hopefully going to make the world a better place here. So, see, we still have some healing potions. I don't think we need any more of them.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
And so as you can see, the crown that the king had is a unique item. So the cool thing about the beating boss enemies is that you can get like a unique item from them that does some pretty cool stuff. So, and as well, it also has a unique, a unique appearance as well with the artwork for it. Okay. Yeah, the Nirvana again. Dyslexia, Nirvana, Jaguar, plain dexterity. Okay. So hit steal 7% life. So if you were a rogue, for example, then this would be a very good item because you do lots of you hit a lot with a bow, you stay away from the enemies, and you can just regenerate health. So even if you're up against the undead bowman like we've been up against, then things like this can be very good for a rogue and for a warrior as well, since they use weapons to hit and steal life. I don't know if stealing life happens when you cast a spell to hit people, so I don't know if that would really help us. Batskin's cape, however, seems like it would be something that's very good here. Fire hit damage 3 to 6. I don't know if that's damage that's done to enemies that hit us, and so we hit them back for fire damage. Faster walking speed could be very helpful for kiting enemies. -4 to strength. I mean, we can still use a good amount of items even with -4 to strength, and then later on if we find something better, then we can just do away with this armor. That, however, seems very good, so we'll go and put that on for the extra hit points. I don't know if we are really going to end up using the Undead Crown. I mean, it's a great item if you're a warrior or a rogue, and I suppose the barbarian or assassin could probably use this too for the expanded classes that were added in, but...
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Surprisingly enough, our Armor of Zest actually sells for more than the Batskin's cape. The faster walking speed is what I would want from that, so that way I can kite enemies much easier. I don't know. I mean, the extra vitality is also incredibly useful here. To be honest, I'm not even sure. I mean, the walking speed is the only reason that I would want to use this. The fire hit damage, that would be better for maybe a rogue. Decreased strength would be bad for a warrior, so you wouldn't want to put it on them, but a rogue maybe could use this if they end up getting hit in some cases, and the fire hit damage can help out with that. I'll just go and sell it and not debate it too much here. And we'll sell that because it's not as good as this one. And then we'll repair that and that. As much as I would want to, well, maybe I could test it out to see if it actually works with making spell attacks here, so we can at least decide if it's worth it or not to keep around and get rid of all those. I mean, there's nothing wrong with testing it out here. We'll go ahead and test it out and see if it works as we think it probably should. And if it doesn't, then we can just go ahead and sell it and be on our merry way. So let's restore our mana here and see if Adria has any good staffs for us to buy.
I sense a soul in search of the higher...
Not what I want to go to. Let's go ahead and do the trading here. And we have 7,300 gold pieces. Flash. From what I remember, Flash is a melee range spell that is like... It's kind of similar to something like a circular sort of lightning type spell. I can't quite remember. Not really lightning, but it's like a circular aura type spell that when you cast it, all the enemies that are like right next to you take a nice burst of damage, but I think because the enemies have to be right next to you for this to actually hit them and deal damage, it's not quite as good for you, so I tend to avoid Flash as a spell. And that's just going off of memory here. I think I want to keep my gold to make sure that if a good staff comes up here, then I'll have enough money to buy it. Another Book of Lightning could be good to make my lightning more potent for that spell. Right now I think we're good with Fire Bolts and Holy Bolts, and then the Charged Bolt from the staff. So let's go ahead and take a hit or two from some undead over here or something like that, and then we can go ahead and test out to see if we can recharge some of our health by using the King Leoric's crown. Alright, so we take the long trek through King Leoric's chamber here, and now we go back up to level 3. Alright, now we're back on track to find more enemies to do battle with. So let's see what we can find. We have another bookcase over there, so we can hopefully get another spell out of that. Looks like we're going to have to go in from that direction, though, so we're not going to get there for a while. And it looks like I have more archers to contend with. That's lovely. You love to see it. And obviously that was poorly done sarcasm, so... Okay, more undead. Ooh, a ring. Not bad, not bad. And we have to identify it as usual to figure out what it does. I don't think that there exists... Oh, that was like an inferno, like spell trap there. But yeah, I don't think that there exist any rings that are non-magical in this game. I think all of them have some kind of magic on them, so you're either going to get good sell value out of them, or you're going to get a pretty good item out of it, so... Okay. Let's spam some Charged Bolt in there. Hopefully we take care of the bows. Looks like we have yet more bowmen over down yonder. Looks like we're clearing out the area nicely here. Taking a bit of damage, but that's okay. And short bow probably doesn't sell for very much. We're not going to bother with that. In Diablo 2, bows would usually sell for a decent amount, where some of them are worth taking long early in the game to just sell. This game, however, not quite so much, so... Let's just recharge all of that before dealing with more bowmen, and then let's go and get telekinesis to deal with this. Good idea in that case. And I'm picking up mana potions just that way if I end up using mana, then I can just easily replenish it with some mana potions from my inventory there if I need to. Looks like we have more archers to contend with, and some of these invisible hidden enemies. Taking care of the demons here. I don't know if we took out the bowmen yet. It appears we didn't. And there's a unique creature up there, I think, so we're going to have to watch out for them. Oh, and it's a bowman. Well, that's going to really wreck our day, because he's going to probably deal a truck ton of damage before we can even get close on him. So we're going to have a bit of a plan to take care of him. I think maybe a bit of firewall could be good, but he might be immune to that, so let's just go ahead and do a bit of holy bolt here to see if we can snipe him a little bit. There's some other enemies, so I'm just going to spam the charged bolt down there to deal with them. There's a short staff over there, I don't know what it is. Probably doesn't sell for anything, so we're going to avoid that. Alright, now hopefully the other enemies I was hoping would be dealt with, but apparently not. Die, please. Damn it. I ran out of charges and that sends me head first into battle. Well, that's not what I want, obviously. Die, please. Jeez Louise, die, come on. There we go. Alright. Oh, that's not... Oh boy. 2 unique creatures in 1. That's not good. We are totally surrounded. We gotta get out of here. Come on, let's get out. Let's town portal on out of here and regroup. Regroup. Yeah, that was not a good situation for us. We were kind of surrounded by the invisible guys. We were trying to go ahead and kite the bowman there, but it wasn't turning out too well for us because we were kind of running into a corner there. So I thought it might just be better just to go ahead and just town portal out of there, and then maybe we can just go back by the waypoint instead, so that way we come in from the different vantage point.
What ails you, my friend?
And then hopefully by coming in from a different area, then we can engage in them much better. Since hopefully we won't be cornered next time. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk to Kane here and identify the stuff.
Stay a while and listen.
Acts of quality, acts of weakness. They sound like polar opposites. And Ring of Warmth. I think that indicates that it's a mana regeneration. It is. Regenerates 1 mana. So now I have a decision to make. Do I go with mana regeneration, or do I go with survivability? I mean, as much mana regeneration as we can spare. I don't know if the Undead Crown was really doing anything for us there. So I think I might just go ahead and sell that and put on this cap here. At least I didn't notice, I don't think that I noticed our health going back up and being replenished by the crown with our spell attacks. So I think unfortunately we're going to have to just sell that and accept the fact that on a different character that we could use it, but the sorcerer, not quite so effective. So we're just going to have to accept that, I think. But I think we're going to go ahead and do this then. Now that we have this cap back on, we have still a reasonable amount of hit points. This is a great ring, but I think that having the mana regeneration is going to be a bit more important for us in particular.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Alright, so Undead Crown, we hardly knew ye. In multiplayer, you could just hand it to someone else in your party, but since Diablo 1 isn't really a multiplayer game, I mean, technically it was the, I think it was the first major game that used Battle.net, the online multiplayer service for Blizzard. Because I think Warcraft 2, when it first came out, Warcraft 2 I think came out before Diablo, but when it originally released, it did not support online multiplayer at the time because Battle.net didn't exist yet. And then for the first Diablo game, that I think was when they first had multiplayer support when the game first released. So, and then that's when Battle.net came around. Alright, he doesn't want that. So yeah, well, oh, that's actually not too bad. Nirvana. Snake's Belt, I think, is the mana part, and that's a lot of mana. Magic is good too, though, because then it allows you to, if your magic skill is higher, then you can have higher levels of spells learned up in your spell book. So, and it can also allow you to use better items as well. So, magic, I think, is better than raw mana potential. But yeah, so while the original Diablo did support online multiplayer at release, online multiplayer wasn't really quite there yet, and the first Diablo was not really designed around multiplayer and having people playing different classes that could have interesting synergies together in multiplayer parties.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Yep, so sell price, similar. Obviously this one has higher value because for a warrior or a rogue that would be much better. But for us, I think having the mana regeneration is going to be much, much better for us. So, +2 to magic, not bad, but not great. We have quite a bit of gold again, so we might be able to afford taking a spellbook now. Another book of Firebolt, probably good here. Just make Firebolt better and better as much as we can. Make it a powerhouse spell. Flash, again, it's just not too useful in my experience because you have to get in the melee range to be able to even use it, so it's not that great. And then lightning has it go from 4 to 6 damage to... what was that? I mean, I'm pretty sure it said 4 to 6 before, now it's 4 to 38. I don't know if I was misremembering what that was. Maybe it was 4 to 36 before. I have no idea. Again, I can go back in the footage and see if I was misremembering that. But yeah, we did get a good buff to damage. That's all we need to know from learning that. And then here we got another nice damage buff, so that went up another couple of damage points there. So 38 to 47 is going to be hitting like a truck. And then let's go ahead and whoops, that's not what I want to do. Apparently the W hotkey switches out your weapon presets here. So I guess if you're more of a warrior, you might want to switch out into a different weapon set for different kinds of enemies sometimes. Sometimes there are certain boss enemies where you don't want a sword and shield set because you don't want to constantly block their quick attacks. Instead you want to use a two-handed weapon like a greatsword or an axe to hit them instead of blocking their attacks. So is there anything else I need to worry about here? I guess I don't want to go back in that way, I just want to go back in through the waypoint here. And I guess speaking of waypoints, eventually I'm going to want to find another one here, so that way I don't have to keep on going through this waypoint right here to get to level 3. In the future is a much bigger consideration to have to deal with the waypoints here, so... because having to replay the levels over and over again would be kind of annoying, especially when you don't know where the entrances and exits are going to be when you reload the game up again, so... and then now, do we need to recharge our staff? We do. I think coming up against the mob of invisible guys, we're going to want Charged Bolt, just because we need a bit of crowd control going on there, and we just want the free charges. So the invisible guys are going to be coming up here pretty soon, I believe. They were down here, I think. Yeah, I can see there's a little light right there indicating that the unique creature that was following us was down there. See if we end up hitting them. Yeah, so just because the creature is invisible does not mean you can't hit them with an attack. So we can still hit the mob of enemies here with our magic here. So you can see, like, right there, we're hitting them. And now we're going to switch to Firebolt and see if we can hit him with this. Kind of cheating to follow the light source here, but heck, he's so strong, I just want to kill him. And we do at least get him down for the count, so... Oh, and we have another one to deal with here. There we go. Mana potion, not bad. There could be a few more of them hanging around here, and I guess our town portal is still there too from before. I guess technically we could go through it again to save ourselves mana, but that's probably not too necessary. Take care of them. Some charge bolt action. Mystic Shrine. What does this have to do? Okay, so it's a town portal shrine. The more you know. The Mystic Shrine equals town portal shrine. And then, is there anything in here? I guess not. Just another skeleton to go ahead and take care of. Didn't know if that red light down there meant anything or not, but I guess it doesn't. It's kind of interesting how the town portal there creates the blue light around it like that. Kind of interesting. And I think we already went down there, and then we're going to go back down there eventually, but we want to take care of the rest of this level first. I believe that there was some other archer-type creatures down here, I think, maybe. Some more skeleton archers, I think, with that unique one that followed us around everywhere. Yep, and as I remembered, there are some more skeleton archers over here to deal with. Okay, now let's go send that over there. Okay. And then, where's the other one? I guess it's probably somewhere right over there. Yep, there it is. See if we can hopefully hit them with that. There we go. Hoping to go ahead and at least clear this level and then find another waypoint somewhere that we can make use of. Oh, I don't want to open it with my staff. Let's go ahead and do the safety option, which is use my staff to go ahead and, instead of whacking it, send some lightning at it. Nope, I don't want the axe. I just want to try and take care of these archers. Oh, and I ran out of charges. Well, that's great. Okay. Still have a bit of a recharge to do with the staff ability there, so let's do that. Switch to mana here. And firebolt. And add more of the invisible dudes. See if we can try and catch them unawares. There we go. Doing a little firebolt sharpshooting here. Get him. Doing a little bit of silent scope action here. Taking care of the enemies and sniping them down. Where's the other one over there? There he is. I did not hit him somehow. There we go. So yeah, our firebolt's very effective against anything that's not the burning undead or unique creatures that seem heavily immune and resistant to elemental damage. Okay, so we're taking a bit of damage there. Let's get the healing potion, heal up with that. And we'll see if we can find where that other archer is. There he is. Sometimes they're kind of hard to see if there's not any light illuminating them. There we go. Please hit him. There we go. Now let's go ahead and use our staff recharge to put that up again. Man, these invisible guys keep on coming up out of nowhere, and then I have to go ahead and scramble to kill them here. Alright, and then as we use the staff, our ring of mana regeneration will give us a little bit of mana back at least, so eventually I want to get some health regeneration items as well. And some more gold. The reason I want to pick up any amount of gold in this game is just because the spell books that you can find for spells in them. You definitely want to try getting as many of those as you possibly can, and buying them is an option for that. So, at least for the Sorcerer, you definitely want to pick up as much gold as you can get, because it does have a tangible effect on your effectiveness, being able to buy some more spells. Whereas in Diablo 2, maybe it's not quite as important for spellcasters, unless there's a certain kind of magical gear that you want to buy from the shops that sometimes can carry some pretty awesome bits of gear. Yeah, sometimes there's certain magic, like skill boosting items that can be pretty good in Diablo 2 that you can get. But in this game, usually you want to be buying spellbook type things for sorcerers. And usually for warriors, you don't usually buy too much equipment and gear, but occasionally there might be like a good set of armor that you can find. Let's see what's through this door. Door number 2. What's behind door number 2? Okay. We have an annoying little demon dude, and then we have a creepy shrine. I wonder if there's going to be some survival horror going on here. Let's go and heal up before we do that. Strength is bolstered by heavenly faith. Okay, so temporarily increases strength. Not that we need that, but we appreciate the thought. That's what it counts. So, I mean, for a warrior, obviously that's a very good shrine, and I guess a barbarian that was added in would be good too. So obviously you have to kind of think of the other classes of the different gear and shrines and stuff that are in the game. Okay. Nothing else over there, I think. Oh, there's a scroll of some kind. Scroll of Identify. Okay, we might use that to save a little bit of money here. Oh, resist fire. That's actually not too bad for armor, but we're not going to use it because I think that flat out hit points is probably better at this point for us. Let's switch to the sharpshooting again. There we go. And then there we go. I got another enemy to deal with there. They try and sneak up on me all the time when I'm trying to open chests. Oh, excuse me. Sometimes gas comes up and that causes me to try and hiccup it out, I guess. Alright, we can just kill these guys through the little fence here. The little steel bars. Or whatever they are. Iron bars, steel bars. Probably the same thing in this particular instance. There was one more over here, I think, wasn't there? I guess I must have killed him. Alright. Scroll of Inferno, more selling fodder. selling fodder. Book of Heal Other, more selling fodder. Okay, well, that's not... It's not terrible, but it's not really good either, so... Okay, then. And then we are going to go ahead and level up here. And then we're going to increase our life force a little bit. It is kind of odd that on the character screen here, your maximum health or mana is on the left, and then your current mana or health is on the right. Usually it would be the other way around, so I guess the original Diablo here kind of did things more in an inverse way, so... yeah, I guess there's nothing else over there. I think we've cleared out this entire level, so we're going to have to go down there and go to the 4th level and hope that we... Like, I didn't find a waypoint here. I didn't exactly expect to find one, but maybe on level 4 we'll find a waypoint, and then we can go ahead and end the episode here so it doesn't get too lengthy on us. So far we have dealt with the King Leoric quest and dealt with him. And there we get hit in the face with another trap yet again. Just showing me how much I need to use telekinesis here, not just forget about it, conveniently. I guess apparently this game just doesn't want to make anything easy on us, so... That's just the way it goes sometimes. Some games are like that. We don't want to go through there, we want to go through here to get down there. There we go, there we go. Yeah, the only problem with trying to go around and double check to see if you missed the waypoints or something like that is that I'm not sure if waypoints show up on the minimap in Diablo 1, whereas on Diablo 2 they would show up. So that way you could easily find them on the minimap to go and get to them. And then in Diablo 1 you just cannot run very fast with your walking speed here. So traveling the maps here takes a little while to get around. Not sure how effective our charged bolt will be by level 4 here in the dungeon, but here's hoping. Right, so we already have some more enemies coming after us. Looks like charged bolt is still doing okay-ish. Unique creatures, we probably want to switch to the firebolt for them. Like the one that's probably right there. That indicates that it's a unique creature in all likelihood. Okay, that's a strong enemy right there. Right, looks like we have an invisible enemy, maybe. Or maybe not invisible. I have no idea if that's invisible or not, but we're gonna shoot first and ask questions later on that part. Maybe that's a unique creature that's powering them up, I guess? That's what I imagine is anyway. Maybe it's turning them invisible, and then that's when they... Oh, a minion. Okay. I don't know if it's like a different version of a unique creature or not, or something like that. But yeah, it looks like they were going invisible on us, kind of like the hidden enemies there that would turn invisible. Okay, so it looks like we have yep, we do have a unique creature over there. We have an archer that's being annoying here. So, I'm really trying to deal with this archer first, so he doesn't keep on doing stuff to us. Okay. Now, I do have mana regeneration here, but I do want to try and take these things out before they get to us. That archer is being so annoying. I want to take him out. I think I hit him. Oh, I want to get out of there. I don't want to fight him up close. It looks like he might be immune to fire. Yep, he is. Okay, so we have to switch. Charged bolt, can that hit him? Maybe? Spam, spam, spam. Can we get him? Yes. Alright. Yeah, but being immune to Firebolt makes it much tougher when we're trying to deal with a stronger singular enemy, so at least they're not... Like, imagine if they were immune to everything and then you couldn't use Holy Bolt on them, then it's just like you would be kind of shit out of luck, so that would be kind of a dick move to the Sorcerer if they were immune to everything. Thankfully they weren't. And now it looks like we have goat archers to deal with now, which are going to try and follow us, so that's going to be annoying too. Thankfully we can probably still kind of sharpshoot them down with Firebolt, I bet, so... Goat archers, I mean, they're going to be annoying, but we can, I think, still deal with them, I think. Book of Healing, I'll take that. And it also restores a bit of mana, I think, too, whenever you read one of those books to learn a spell. I'm not exactly sure mechanically if it's a reliable thing to, you know, kind of metagame in any way, but, I mean, it's just like a nice little side benefit. That doesn't really mean a whole lot, so... More archers. I mean, yeah, we do have ranged magic and everything, but since we're not heavily armored, it makes it easier for them to just kind of hit us more than us hitting them. And then they're just going to go back and forth like an idiot there. And it looks like we also have demons to contend with now, big ones. They're just running back and forth like an idiot again. Thankfully, Firebolt works on the demons, so that's very, very good news. If we can just kill those demons with Firebolts and things like that, then I will be a happy camper there. Only 5 charges left, so we don't have too much juice in the tank for that. So yeah, I think we cleared out that room, and then we have probably more archers to deal with, I imagine. More of these goat archers. Alright, nothing over there. Looks like there's some light going on over there. Oh, another waypoint. That's excellent, actually. So that is going to be our goal for the end of the episode, is to get to that waypoint, and then we can put an end to the episode. We have more enemies to contend with over here, so we're going to have to deal with them first. Alright. Go back to this, recharge the staff. Kind of allow the archers to come to us, and then when they get around the corner, then we'll kind of hit them with magic here. Okay, move back and forth and juke them out a little bit. Thankfully, at least Charged Bolt is still being highly effective here for most of these enemies. Okay, so let's go and switch to Firebolt and take some of these guys out. Or is getting in the way, though, being annoying. Okay, him. Excellent. Alright. Good old trusty Firebolt. Never fails to impress, so... Yeah, I'm trying to dodge these arrows as best I can and kind of hit and run with my Firebolts and spell casting here to try and hit and run a little bit like an archer. Looks like I have some archers that are getting a good hold of me here. No scrolls of healing here, so I'm going to just have to use a potion. Could have also just used a spell of healing there, but I'm just not into a big habit of using that with hotkey or anything, so. Okay. Lots of archers are trying to shoot at us. Hopefully take care of the melee enemy there, then I can take care of the bowman. Juking and jiving a little bit. They're already dead, so I didn't need to cast it one more time, but sometimes I do a double casting just in case I miss with the first one. Maybe I hit them with the second one, so that way at least they go down. Or maybe if the first one fails to kill them, then the second one finishes them off. Take care of him. There we go. And it went over there. Let's use that. There we go. Alright. And let's go ahead and open the barrels up with a charged bolt, as is tradition. Looks like there was another archer trying to hit me from over here, I think. Yep, there is. Where are they? They're way down there. Okay. Oh, let's get over here first. Take care of the barrels first, since they kind of get in the way for targeting sometimes. Okay, let's take care of these guys. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to go... Well, I think I might just clear out this entire level if I can, and then I'll get to the waypoints at some point. Oh, don't want to go that way. Not yet, anyway. Maybe it's time to switch back to Firebolt here. That's going to be more accurate. Down, down, you go goat demons. Okay, get him to go down, I hope. There we go. And then, let's see about... where are the archers at? Pillars are kind of getting in the way for me, but not for them. Here, what do we have down here? Another demon, lovely. Another couple demons. But they go down like a sack of bricks to Firebolt, so all is well. Alright. Oh. Let's see about killing them then. I'm trying to hit the archer, but it's hitting the wall. Okay. Might need some more healing potions and maybe some scrolls of healing when I get back to town here. I could also use just the healing spell, I guess, instead. Ooh.
I cannot get there from here.
Spending a bit too much time talking, not enough time flinging firebolts here. Up nice and easy. There we go. Alright, so Scroll of Inferno, we can sell that. And let's see what else we have. Don't know if there's any other goodies that came out of the barrel here. I didn't hear anything pop out of them. Usually you can hear some kind of sound prompt that comes up to accompany items coming out of a container of some kind. Looks like we have more archers. gonna wait for them to come around the corner, and then maybe I can hit them with a charged bolt, or maybe not, since they don't appear to be coming. So let's go ahead and get to them then. If they are not going to come to us, then we are just going to have to take the fight to them. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll just heal up with magic here. Let's go ahead and send the firebolt down there in random directions. Yeah, I guess when you kill a unique creature, the light stays next to where the corpse was from when you killed it, so it's an interesting little thing there. Looks like there's a demon over there that wants to talk to us. Let's go over here first and see what was in this other side of the building here where the demons were. Looks like there's some big demons waiting for us. Alright. Any other ones? No, doesn't appear so.
I have no room.
And what's this? We have a tavern sign. I wonder what that means. Let's go ahead and move some of this stuff over and make some room. Alright, so let's go ahead and maybe we might just want to town portal back to town first. We can go ahead and talk to him, I guess, but let's just go and talk to him.
You give? Yes, good. Go now. We strong. We kill all with big magic.
So I guess if we had talked to him first, then he would have maybe had a different reaction than if we already had the sign in our possession. But I think what he's supposed to say is, you know, go ahead and get the sign from the big uglies, the big demons that were over here in this room. Go ahead and get us the big thing from the big uglies, the sign, yes. And then if you're in town, when you kind of activate this quest, then Ogden will get you some dialogue as well, I think. Since I believe that's his sign. And I think we killed Stontspill there, so we killed their big leader man. I think after you kill a unique creature, they might still get their unique creature benefits from being near the corpse. I'm not entirely certain on that, but I think that sometimes they do. Because usually what happens is if the sort of more mundane enemies are near the unique creatures that are part of that sort of creature mob, then unique creatures kind of give some passive benefits to the creatures that are next to them or near them. So it kind of buffs up the evil party, as it were, that's trying to fight you, so it makes it a bit harder on you if you're trying to fight mobs of enemies sometimes, and you don't have crowd control type magic. I guess we didn't really get anything too special here. We have a couple of rings, I guess. Looks like I forgot a couple barrels over there, but that's okay. They're not really too important. Looks like there's some stragglers over here that didn't come out yet. And then we have some magic weapons over here. And I think we'll just go ahead and maybe we can just town portal back here. And then we'll go ahead and grab some of that stuff, and then we'll talk to Ogden about his sign here. I don't know. I mean, did he drop his... Did they drop the sign or something? I don't know. I don't know if they would drop the sign after we killed them, basically. Let's go ahead and up our magic again, and vitality a little bit.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun.
I guess we didn't have a chance to talk to Ogden about his missing sign, because I'm pretty sure the sign belonged to him, but I guess we talked to Snotsville a bit early there, and so that kind of didn't allow us a chance to talk to Ogden about it first, so... Let's see what Bristol has to say.
I have a story you might find interesting. A caravan that was bound for the Eastern Kingdoms passed through here some time ago. It was supposedly carrying a piece of the heavens that had fallen to earth. The caravan was ambushed by cloaked riders just north of here along the roadway. I searched the wreckage for this sky rock, but it was nowhere to be found. If you should find it, I believe that I can fashion something useful from it.
Alright, so Griswold wants to offer his expertise here. If we can find the material there, he will go and craft a nice little magic item from it. So that's kind of a nice offer from him.
My friend. Stay a while and listen.
Be kind of nice if something like 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons had the same kind of support for crafting magic items, honestly. Because magic items are cool. We like them. That's why games like Diablo got popular in the first place, is because you could find cool gear and things like that as you adventure along, so... Armor of Disease does not sound very enticing to me. White Sword of Frost. Interesting. And then some rings that we're probably not going to use. Yep, alright, so the armor is useless. Pretty decent axe. Not anything that we're going to use, but a warrior could probably get some good mileage out of that if they didn't have the butcher's cleaver. And it's not very good either, so none of these are obviously anything that we're going to use. -1 damage from enemies is good, but the Ring of Truth is way too good, because it's just way better than this thing, so... So yeah, if you could stack this and the Ring of Truth for a warrior, that would probably be very good for your 2 ring slots, but being a sorcerer, we're not going to do that. We have an Amulet of Dexterity as well. I guess we finally found I guess we've always had an amulet, haven't we? I think we've always had an amulet on us, so... Or I don't know, maybe it auto-equipped the amulet when we picked it up from the ground. I don't know. I don't remember having... I don't think that I remember having an amulet. I think that was the only equipment slot that we didn't have filled up yet. So I guess it auto-equipped the amulet, and then we had Cain identify it at some point, and I just
What ails you, my friend?
We definitely want some healing potions here. Let's go ahead and put the full healing potions in here. And we don't really need too many mana type potions.
What ails you, my friend?
I guess he'll take scrolls, so we'll just go and sell him some of these scrolls then. So we have to wait until we get to Adria to clear our inventory a little bit. I guess he doesn't want a heal other book, a healing spell. Okay. Alright, now I have 6 healing potions. I have mana potions here for casting healing magic.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Get rid of that junk. Sell some of this halfway decent gear that we're just not going to use. I could take a look at what he has to
what
sell
can I do
here,
for
just
you?
in case. Oh, that regenerates 1 mana. Oh, that could be an interesting little tidbit to buy. It is very expensive here, but we have enough money for it. Let's see what we can find over at Adria first. But yeah, that would be a very nice bit of armor to get. Obviously, we lose the vitality there, but regenerating mana is great, and our armor class will go up way more, so maybe we'll get hit less by arrows with that. That's what having the higher strength will do for you if you can get better bits of armor and gear here. I guess there's no strength requirement for this particular gear, it's just a level requirement, but let's go ahead and go and sell these rings and the spellbook here and see if Adria has anything that we might want more than that armor. Because I definitely think that I want in
I
on some
sense
of
a
that.
soul in search of answers.
Let's sell that, sell the rings. They're very nice, but we're just not going to use them. Alright, so bonus to magic. And we do have the required strength for using that. But I think the mana regeneration is going to be better with that armor that we can get. Dark Pact, not very useful, I can see. Oh, Stone Curse is actually a very good spell to have. If I remember correctly, Stone Curse will end up turning an enemy to stone, basically. I don't know if unique creatures and boss enemies are all immune to this type of spell, but I mean, if you can get it off on somebody and then kind of whack them into oblivion with your damage-dealing spells, then you can make quick work of enemies, but it is very expensive here, and I don't think that I need it yet. I think that just using the magic that we have now is good enough. Maybe a Book of Charged Bolt might be good here, just to level that up a little bit. And then maybe another mana potion or two. I think I have enough potions. Ooh, Elixir of Vitality. Oh. Be nice if that were more of a permanent potion here, but I mean, usually the good thing about finding elixir type things is that they're permanent, and so that's what makes them so good, but only temporary. Not really worth it in my opinion. 5,000 gold for temporary buff. Just not worth it. So we're not going to bother with it. Alright, so we're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and buy that armor from Griswold. Because extra mana regeneration as time goes on and we're not as reliant on using a spell from a staff, having the extra mana regeneration is going to just passively be a nice little benefit to have.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Alright, let's go ahead and get this Valiant Armor of Warmth. Very valiant indeed.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Get a little bit of money back from selling our old armor there at least, so that's always nice. And then we want to recharge our staff here. There we go. Alright, so we did a little bit of busy duty there, and then now we're going to get back into the fight and hopefully get to that waypoint so we can end the episode here pretty soon. Magic item there. And I guess we cleared the way to level 4, but before I do that, I want to get to that waypoint because that's going to allow me to get back to here once I have to start my next session for this Let's Play, so that is the way. It looks like we have a knowledge tome over here, so we have to read that as well. The ranged enemies are kind of annoying here. I wish I didn't have to deal with them as much, considering that we can't move very fast, but they can generally move pretty fast, so... Alright, at least we took care of the archers there. It looks like there's some enemies maybe down there near the waypoint. And we have some enemies over here as well. Short staff, I'm not sure if it's good. And it's just a plain short staff, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And those blew up like fireworks there. And I have no idea what triggered that trap. I guess maybe they opened a door and triggered the trap. But it would be kind of nice if they triggered the trap, then the trap would try and hit them instead of me. I mean, it's only fair. They opened the door and they triggered the trap should go after them, I hope. The armor doesn't seem very valuable. Nothing in there, it looks like. Looks like there's a goat shrine over here. Stone goat shrine. Well, I don't want anything to turn me into stone before I have a chance to go to that waypoint, so let's go ahead and just skip on that goat shrine for now. Don't know if there's any particular negative shrines that will have a instant kill effect on you or not, so I'm just not going to chance anything for now. Again, I don't know if the mod added in anything like that as far as new shrines or mechanics there that can kind of be a bit more negative on you for the effects. So the Belzebub mod obviously is a very good mod and I'm having fun with it, but I just don't know if the changes ended up making anything more frustrating. So kind of like the save anywhere system is gone and now you have to use waypoints. A little bit frustrating for that, so that's one thing that's kind of love it or hate it kind of thing. I mean, it's nice to have waypoints, but saving anywhere and then using Town Portal again and again also was just fine in the original game, so... Yeah, 6 bolts with charged bolt. That's kind of nice. Alright, just making sure that I have all the enemies cleared before I go and take care of that knowledge tome here, because I don't want to be rudely interrupted while I'm trying to listen to it.
I cannot get there from here.
Looks like I'm going to have to recharge my staff here once the staff recharge skill comes back. Waiting patiently. And now. Alright, now let's take care of these fools. Alright. Yeah, and obviously the charged bolt does not have like an unlimited range. As you saw there, they kind of phase out once they reach a certain point, and then they just don't continue onward. I think lightning bolt has a very long range, however, on its spell effect. that I got that healed up, I think I need to go over here real quick. That's the door that I went through, and then all those little enemies came after me. And then town portal, I guess that'll save me some mana, I guess, if I want to. Book of Healing, once again. It's not too bad, actually. And let's go and put Firewall over here and put Town Portal right there. Alright, so it looks like we're going to finally reach the waypoint here, so that's going to be very nice to have in our back pocket. I'm going to just do this real quick. There we go. Alright, and then we have the gold. I don't know if there's going to be any more enemies to annoy us here. And as I remembered, the waypoints do not show up here. Unfortunately, they don't show up on the minimap, even though I think that they probably should, but they don't. Alright, so it allows you to go back to the other waypoints. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to Tristram here. And get these items taken care of, and then we'll probably end the episode, I guess. I don't know if we really need to go ahead and explore the rest of the level, because the episode's already getting kind of long, I can imagine, on the recording, so I mainly wanted to take care of King Leoric, and then take care of the next waypoint.
What ails you, my friend?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Chaos Cloak, I wonder what that is. So that's actually not a bad sword there, but we're not going to use it. More armor, higher durability, that's not very unique or special, unfortunately, so I'm just going to have to sell that.
Well, what can I do for you?
And then we have some scrolls to go ahead and take to Adria. That's not bad. If you're a warrior, that's actually a pretty good little piece of armor there. Then we're going to go to Adria and sell these scrolls, and I think that we're going to call it an episode. We've taken care of quite a bit in this episode. We took care of King Leoric and lifted the curse from his soul, I hope, and I guess in taking care of
a soul in search of answers.
And taking care of his skeleton body in the mortal realm, maybe in the afterlife, the curse being lifted will make sure that, well, at least he'll be free from the torment of losing his son, I guess. So maybe that'll, maybe in some way we've freed him from that. I mean, it's hard to know for sure. Obviously, we don't know. Lore-wise, at least, our character isn't going to know exactly what's going on with King Leoric in his head or in his soul, but plus 11% spell power. I'm not sure what that means, but in the original game, I don't even think that spell power was something that came up with magic items. I think that's part of the Belzebub mod. So I guess spell power might indicate 11% more effectiveness, so if it's like a damaging spell, you do 11% more damage with your spells. And then maybe if it's a healing spell, you heal 11% more healing, basically. I can assume that's what it means, but I'm not entirely sure because I've never used an item like that yet, and I believe it's part of the Belzebub mod, so there's probably not like a wiki or a guide out there that covers what that does, so I'll probably have to pass on that, but if I end up coming across a staff that increases mana regeneration, that would certainly be a consideration. Because I believe that the mana regeneration of different items, and health regeneration as well, I do believe that they stack with each other. It's not it's not one or the other kind of thing, and only the highest bonus applies. I believe that they are cumulative, so they should stack with each other as far as their effects go. So, another firebolt, and I can certainly use that, so I'll do that. And I guess I just remembered that right-clicking allows you to go ahead and buy an item without having to use the buy tab here. So I can, hopefully in the future, I can just stick to that. So that should make things a bit faster with the buying and selling functions. So we go from 39 to 48. 51 to 60, so another 2 damage boost there. Very nice. Very nice. I mean, I think it was 39 to 48. Now it's 51 to 60. So the maximum damage, I think, actually went up sizably there. So that's actually... Or I'm getting tangled up here. I think it was 49 to 58. So a 2 damage increase. I need to quit overthinking it. And I guess the next level to level up Firebolt is going to be 73 magic next time. So we're going to need to increase our magic a little bit the next time we level up to make sure that we can keep on leveling up our spells and our spell books. So, and I don't think there's anything else, so I think that that's going to go ahead and be the end of the episode today, and I hope that all of you have enjoyed this New Year's type episode. The start of the new year just happened right when I started recording here, basically, at about 1 or so in the morning. Having a bit of a late night, so I figured, okay, let's just go ahead and do another Let's Play episode if I can't sleep, and so starting off the new year right with a gaming video and doing something that I love and enjoy, and hopefully it's something that everyone else here that's watching also loves and enjoys, because that's kind of why we're all here. We like enjoying the same hobby and enjoying others' experiences, I guess, with gaming. So I hope you all enjoyed this experience and the start of the new year, and hopefully your New Year's resolutions are very good ones and that they come to fruition, and that we can all have a much better 2022 than we did with 2020 and 2021 with COVID going on, but hopefully with this hobby of gaming we can all enjoy things maybe just a little bit more than we otherwise would have. So I thank you all for joining me, and tune in next time for our 4th episode, and hopefully there are more things in store after dealing with King Leoric and laying his soul to rest, and dealing with the sign that apparently the little demons were after on level 4 of the dungeon, and we dealt with that. So hopefully level 5 of the dungeon has many more things in store for us, many more challenges, and many more rewards as well. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great evening, a great start to 2022, and as always, take care. Take good care. Thank you.